Hey, good afternoon. Today is Sunday, December 14th, and this is Flosstube number 14. I am Cindy, also known as the Scrappy Chick, and this is my little corner of YouTube. A Flosstube, if you've never joined me before and have stumbled onto it, is all about the cross stitch. I am a multi-crafter. I don't do nearly what I used to. I still piddle in some quilting and bag making. I don't find time to scrapbook anymore or card make or art journal. I want to learn to knit, want to learn to crochet. So, yeah, anyway. So this is, as I said, Flosstube number 21. It has been about 6 weeks since I've seen you guys. Welcome to all my returning viewers and welcome to any new people that have stumbled onto me. I hope you'll stick around and find something you like and hit subscribe and hit like down below. So, update on life. I kind of enjoy watching other people's updates. Some people seem to ramble on and on and on, so I really don't like to do that. I know you're here for the stitching. You're not here to hear about my dogs and my job and my Christmas shopping or whatever it may be. I may talk a little bit about books at the end. But anyway, so no new developments. You know, life is good. It's right in the middle of the 49ers game. My husband's a big 49ers fan, so I'm going to go join him in a few minutes and catch that. The Chiefs are officially out of the playoffs. Woohoo! Sorry, we've become kind of anti-Chiefs lately. And the Bills had a win, which was kind of cool. And Panthers stand a good chance today, too. So it should be a really good football afternoon. And I will head to that as soon as we're done here. We went out to lunch today. He had to work a few hours this morning. He took me out to Olive Garden. We haven't been there in 6-7 years. Lunch was great. I just got an appetizer. I got the toasted ravioli. I actually make that at home sometimes. If I'm making lasagna and we have family or friends over, my kids they're all about the appetizers. So that's something I make sometimes, but have not had that in a long time. So it was a good lunch, and then we piddled around and did a little bit of shopping. Didn't really buy anything. I got some more wrapping paper so I can finish wrapping while we're watching football. I've also got another project I need to work on, and I will tell you about that in a minute. So, without further ado, let's get into the cross stitch. I do have the newer craft room, in the last 2 years, and I've messed around with it quite a bit, turned things around. You're not seeing a lot behind me. What you're seeing are whips. There's 3 shelves of whips besides my baskets. You can't really see any of my organization of fabric, my floss wall, and you can't really see any of my, this is cross stitch fabric, sorry, much of my quilting fabric as well. So I'll give you guys a craft room tour at some point. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if anybody wants that. I need to do some organization, and I keep saying I'll bring you along for that, and I keep just not doing it, so I'm sorry. And I'm sorry it's been 6 weeks. Seems to be a good time period for me, 4 to 6, maybe 8 weeks. I can't seem to get back here every 2 weeks for whatever reason. So, okay, enough of the chit chat. I do have a couple of fully finishes, and this is one that I had actually finished, I believe, at the very end of last year or the beginning of this year. And this is Holly Snowflake from Textile Crafts. I've got it on a light ash Lugana. I believe I stitched it, I think that's a 28 count actually. Just some fabric from Stash, and I have a little bit of the yarn chenille trim around that. I did a couple of pillows 2 or 3 weeks ago. Winter Mini Moon. This is one of my favorite stitches of all time. I loved every stitch of this. This was great. And it's been sitting in that pile to finish. It is on 32 count Oaken, which I believe is Picture This Plus. I think I used all the called for colors, but I don't have it in here with me. More fabric from Stash and more of that chenille trim. I did add a little bow up here in the corner of that one. And then I also fixed this one. This is Wee Santa. I think he's 2023. And I finished him last year, and I had some chunky chenille yarn, and I hated it. So I ripped all that off. Unfortunately, I had hot glued it. So the hot glue does work, makes a little bit of a mess, but if you think you'll change your mind, don't hot glue, sew it instead. And I followed a tutorial from, oh, give me a second and I'll tell you her name. Tara Sullivan, Sully Stitches, how she does hers. It's just whip stitched on there. And I think that looks so much better. Much happier with it. Has some fuzz. Super cute. I really need to do last year's and this year's because I think these are really, really cute. I think I want to do more Christmas throughout the year next year because I found I really don't have near enough Christmas to put out. Now I do have plenty of decor, don't get me wrong. I didn't even put half of it up. I don't have as many cross stitch finishes, at least that are finished. There's still a few in my needs to be finished box. And I know you know what that is. Yep, we all have them. But I did in the last 6 weeks since I've seen you guys, I have finished 1, 2, 3. I finished 4 things. So I'm really proud of that. I'm happy about that. No, I'm sorry. I finished 3 things. Either way, still great. So the first one, and I've got it sitting on top of a frame. I'm going to do this myself. And I've looked at different frames, and I think that the 9x12 is actually going to be perfect for it. I need to get that pinned and laced. Let me hold it up. And this is Winter Moon from Plum Street Samplers. I had ordered the kit for this one, I believe, from maybe from Country Stitches, maybe from Farmer's Attic. I don't recall where I ordered it from. Either way, it was kitted with call for fabric, which I believe was 36 count saltbush from Fox and Rabbit. All the call for floss, which is mainly Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, and a few DMC thrown in there. I love this. I stitched that one over the course of a year, and it was broken down into 12 chunks, finished a chunk each month, and I pretty much kept up with that. Actually, in October, I had fallen a bit behind, and I knew I had a bunch to do for November, and I was fine with that because I was excited to get it done. I knew it was going to get done. So that is my first finish. And my next one is actually a start and a finish, and that is Ginger. She was one of my Jingle Ball stitches. She's so cute. Oh my gosh, I can't even stand it. She's not the first animal cracker that I've started. I did start, not Harriet, might be Harriet. I can't remember her name. Blanking on her. Nettle, I believe is her name. It's one of the Halloween ones. And I got almost 2/3 of the way done with that one in about a month because I was flying through it. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of stitches. There's a few thousand stitches in these. But I put it aside after Halloween and started on Ginger. And I love her. So I ended up doing a full Roxy Floss Co conversion. I wanted a brighter green. I knew that. And I jumped right to, I have a lot of one-of-a-kind Roxy that I had joined that club where you got a monthly pack of the one-of-a-kind floss. And one month had Fiona, Ogre, Princess, I don't remember the other ones, but Fiona was the one that I picked for the green. I used, instead of a bright red, I didn't really have one. I do have Aztec red, but there was a reason I didn't pick it, and I can't remember why. But this is Dolomite from Fiber on a Whim. It is 36 count. I did 2/2, which I almost always do on 36 count now. It's a little tight, but I like the coverage way better. The grays were also one-of-a-kind flosses. I just think she's precious. I have my other piece of linen cut and ready to go to make her into a little stuffy stand-up, and I'm very excited. And we'll talk Jingle Ball in a minute. My third finish, and this one literally just got finished a couple of days ago, so I'm still auditioning possible frames for this. Maybe a pillow, but I think I want to frame it. And this is Bauble Birds. This is from Boomerang Stitches, Amity. Whoops, sorry. This is one of the possibilities, is the white frame. I can't tell you how much I love this stitch. I have another Boomerang Stitches stitch going on, but it's more spring, so I'll get back to that in January. And anyway, I've been stitching on this one for 7-8 months, something like that. And again, I would just do a chunk in a month. I would do a bird, or I would do an ornament and continue the branch across. I love the way it turned out. I ordered the Roxy Floss Pack conversion for this, and I just can't even tell you how pretty those colors are. I don't know that you can see the variegation in them, but they are the bomb. Absolutely love them. And I stitched that one on porcelain. Can't remember if it was 32 or 36 count. I think that's a 32. But again, 2/2. But yes, loved every minute of that stitch. So I'm looking at a white frame, looking at a black frame. Thought about a red frame. I don't know. Most of the frames of like family in the other room, like my guest room, are the off-white or like a grayish white. And in the new house, all of our doorknobs and trim, light fixtures and everything are black. And the rest of the house is very neutral with pops of color, but very neutral, like taupey grayish, like a light grayish, with that black trim. So I thought probably a black frame, but again, I'm unsure on that one. Excuse me. So let me set that one aside. So those are the 3 finishes. And again, ginger was a start and a finish. And then I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new starts since I've seen you. I have had startitis really bad. There's 3 or 4 other things I want to start. But so far, this is as far as I've gotten on my starts. So it is kind of a Christmas palooza today. Almost everything is Christmas except for one piece. So the next one is Frosty Bulb ornament. This is from Teresa Kogut. This was in last year's Chantel's 141 ornament box. And I just think it's precious. I haven't ever really been a huge snowman fan, but I'm really loving him all of a sudden. And I'm really loving Teresa Kogut too. This is the first of her pieces I've ever stitched. So I'm excited for that one. My floss is a mess, so I'm not going to show you my floss. But this is what I have so far. I stitched on this a few mornings in the car, waiting to go into work when I'm on a morning, like a Zoom meeting. So it's going to be, you know, about down to here. And I do have the paddles since that was in the kit, so excited about that. I am stitching on, it called for a 40 count for that ornament, and I'm stitching on 40 count latte from Fiber on a Whim, and I am doing mostly the DMC that's called for, but I did brighten up my reds a little bit. I haven't added the darker red into the candy cane yet, just the lighter kind of pinky red, but that matches my vibe a lot better. And I think I brightened my greens a touch as well. Let me get that one out of the way. And that's just living in a super old project bag. That is fabric from Coriander Quilts, I believe. Coriander Quilts, I think is the name of her business. And I'll show you something that matches that in just a little bit. So my next start, and let me back up for a second. Ginger, because I'm an idiot. I forgot to tell you, sorry. Ginger is an animal cracker from Stacy Nash. But I think almost everybody that would watch a Flosstube probably knows who Stacy Nash is and the animal crackers. And most of you probably know what the Jingle Ball was. If not, I'll tell you a little bit more about it later. So let me put that back. Okay, so I had a second Jingle Ball class. And I will stop and talk about this for a little bit here. So the Jingle Ball is something that Lindy Stitches, Stephanie, puts on every year. I believe it's the 3rd or 4th year. The first year, I was a little intimidated. I'd really just kind of started back into cross stitch, and I wasn't sure about it. It's an online event. It's $15 for the weekend, and it's a whole jam-packed weekend. You can do speed dating. You can do meet and greets with the designers. There's stitchy tables, kind of like a Zoom call with your friends, and you can go in and out of all the different stitch rooms. There are classes, there's shopping, there's so much. There's entertainment, really funny videos from Steph. Anyway, it's a ton of fun. I super participated in it like 2 years ago and chit-chatted, but I don't think I took any classes. Last year I took classes, and then this year, I took classes, but I was unable to participate. My husband was off all weekend, and we were doing just, Christmas stuff, family stuff, whatever. So I had to watch my classes later on video, but you have 30 days, which is really awesome. I did do a little shopping, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. So my second class, and again, kind of knowing that I probably wouldn't get them both done. I was tickled to death to get Ginger done, and I have watched that video. I'm going to watch it one more time and then put her together. But the other one I picked, and this is kind of Joy's fault, Carolina Stitcher's Joy, is the Robin Pickens Nature's Wreath. And I just think it's so pretty. It's a grapevine wreath, and you stitch all the pieces and then back them on felt and attach them to the grapevine wreath. You know, pretty straightforward, not too difficult. And it is, though, very stitch heavy. So I've gotten 2 of the hollies and 1 of these, and I have another one started. There are 3 or 4 other leaves, I believe. This is not even half of the snowflake. That's about 1/3 of the snowflake, and there's 2 more of those. There's another pine cone, even larger. I have a lot more to do. So hopefully I'll get this one done for next year. But that one, and here's the flosses for that. That called for all DMC, and I just stuck with that. Really pretty, bright, fun colors. I am stitching that one on, it called for a 32 count, which I said, okay, let's just do it. I'm stitching on 32 count Vintage Country Mocha. That was not what Robin had called for, but when I ordered my linen at 1-2-3 Stitch, they were out of that, and that's what they suggested, and it still is going to match pretty well with the suggested felt. And the felt is parchment wool felt. So I think that's going to go just fine. So that's pretty exciting, and that's also living in a super old project bag. I had to pull out some old ones. I didn't have enough Christmas. So I have been making a few project bags. Shop update, I really haven't done anything for my shop lately. I need to get back on board, but I know that's probably not going to happen in December. So when things slow down in January, I will try to start getting restocked on all that. But I have made a couple for myself just to fill in because I didn't have enough. So that was New Start number. There was Ginger, Winter Wreath, Frosty Bulb, and this is New Start number 4. So for this one, this is Plum Street Samplers, Autumn Moon. Had to do it. I knew as soon as I saw it, I wanted to do it, and I really wanted to get Winter Moon finished first, and I did. So I wanted to start this one for my birthday, which happened to be on Thanksgiving Day. So I reached out to just a couple of friends and said, hey, you want to stitch it with me? Some of the ones who had done American Welcome by Plum Street we started about 2 years ago. And a few of them said, yeah, sure. So I know that Amy Swillhart has already started hers, and she's posted a pic. And she is on Instagram as Amy Swillhart and numbers. I can't remember, but she'll pop right up. Joy from Carolina Stitchers is planning to start it. Hannah from, oh my gosh, I am just losing it today on names. The Pokey Needle, Hannah, is going to join us. I'm not sure if she started it yet or not. And then I believe Christy Keith, who is from Flossmass and Cousins, she said about a week ago she wanted to jump in late, but she wanted to join us as well. So I'm not sure if she got her stuff yet or not. And then my friend Lauren, later Curly Q Stitches, she's trying to finish her Winter Moon, and then she wants to jump in. And it seems like somebody else. I can't remember. I apologize if you're watching and you told me you're joining. But those are the ones I remember off the top of my head that have said that they plan to join in. Okay, so Plum Street Samplers. And this is, the call for this one was 36 count hog bristle, which I did get. And I'm stitching 2/2. So since I have not only so much Roxy floss, but I love it so much, I decided I could probably do a full conversion. I only had a handful here and there of the Classic Colorworks and the weeks that were called for, but it's pretty easy to bag up the DMC converted from the original charting and then convert that to Roxy. So my colors are not spot on. Some are pretty close. Some I couldn't quite get exactly what I wanted, but again, pretty close. And some of them I actually intentionally brightened up. And that idea came from my brain today. I'm so sorry. That idea came from Rika at House of Stitch and Stash. She was commenting that, I forget what, I think the color was Autumn Spice that was called for the brickwork. She's like, oh, mine's a different dye lot. That's really bright. And I was like, oh, I like it really bright. So I'm not sure that mine's that much brighter than the Autumn Spice, but some of those oranges I'm going to pop up a little bit, and some of the greens I'm probably going to pop up some in the grass as well. So like I said, I'm only half kind of going from trying to match the, you know, the DMC conversion, and half of it's just what I like. But I think those colors are going to be so pretty and so stunning together when I get them all in. Everything's not set in stone yet. I'll post it on Instagram when it is. The only colors that I had already picked, I've already posted on Instagram. So I started right in the middle of the house, right in the middle of the chart. And I've got my 4 top windows. There's more windows down here. And I did some of that brickwork because I want to start playing with those colors. But I wanted to go ahead and get that roof done, so I had some fill-in. I had done that in case I had time to hop onto the Jingle Ball, which I did not. But fill-in work is always great when I'm doing something else, like watching football. Perfect. Couldn't be any better. So that one, again, was my birthday start. And I do have a project bag planned for that in the meantime. It's living in this really cute one from Evertote that I got with a kit last year, which was Sampler September from 2024. And that project got finished, so I decided, well, let's just use that bag. In the meantime, but I do have the perfect fabric. I just haven't had a chance to make that bag yet. So let me move that one out of the way. So that was start number 4. Start number 5, and this one is super exciting. Hang on, hold please. I think I'm coffeeed out today. I had a full pot this morning, and I might have stopped at Starbucks as well. Oops. Pretty caffeinated. And I'll drink decaf in the afternoons, but I'm never going to get up in the morning if I even drink decaf, I think. So, start number 5, and this one was December 1st, is the Holiday Countdown 2025, which is a project collaboration from Evertote, Roxy Floss Co., and Modern Folk Embroidery. And this year's is called A Pretty Song. I cannot show you, obviously, all the pretty charting, but what I can show you is every day you open a big bag and it has one color of floss. It might have a goodie in it. There's been some good goodies along the way. And then it's got your card. The pattern's on the back, so I can't show you that. So each day has been super simple to see the new color that you're stitching. And Jacob, kudos. This was the bomb, dude. But he gives us beautiful artwork every day. That was one of them. Some of them are coming in color. Was another one. They're so pretty. And I am caught up on this one. I stayed caught up on it last year too. You know, a couple of days I might fall a teeny bit behind, but I'll catch right back up the next day. It's about 200 stitches a day. It's very doable. And I highly recommend this. It's been, you know, a lot of fun both years. I did make a special bag for this one. I knew from the needle minder that it was going to have probably some orange in it. And I had seen this fabric my local quilt store. That's the inside. Very fun. So as I said, you get a new color every day. So that's 25 colors in this project. So far, today is day 14, and I am caught up. So here's our 14 days. Now last year, every single skein was a brand new color. And most of them I don't think went in the catalog. This year it's going to be about half and half. This is the ornament that we received in the box, and it matches the needle minder. So funny story, the needle minder was on the outside of my bag, and it fell off inside. I have like a tote bag I carried back and forth to work with the work iPad and notebooks and stuff like that, and I'll stick a cross-stitch bag in there. It's somewhere at the bottom of that bag, and I need to dig it out. but it matches that really pretty ornament. So again, that's where the inspiration for the orange came from. And I had already seen the first couple of days of flosses when I saw that fabric and had to make the bag. So it's perfect. So anyway, again, it's about 200 stitches a day. So at the end of it, you're looking at about 5,000 stitches in December. So if your December is like everybody else's, you probably won't get much else done. But this is where we are so far. Let's see if I can pull this in closer. We've got some birds starting down here, a couple of large flowers, a couple more large flowers, some little birds. Where's the little birds? 1, 2 little birds. Some itty bitty little birds starting in up here. Not my normal Christmas palette at all. And I am not really more grown-up stitching. I don't know what to call it. More sophisticated. It's not sophisticated. It's more like, I like whimsical, but not necessarily whimsical. Like whimsical, modern, chunky, funky, a little bit offbeat. I do love a lot of Jacob's charts. I've really enjoyed all the ones I've worked on. And I do have another one to show you here in a minute as one of my whips. But not my normal style. But I had done last year's on a whim. And I will, hang on, let me pause and show you that. So this was 2024's. And I never did frame it. And I started pinning the other day. And what's inside this stupid frame is like a corrugated, you can't pin it very well on that. So I actually went and bought some foam core to start over. But again, not my normal colors. To me, doesn't necessarily say Christmas. But overall, you have to trust that designer on their color choices. Jacob is phenomenal with his colors. And when I first started both years, I was like, ooh, I love these first 2 colors. And the next one, I'm like, because I really don't like yellow, like at all. Not my thing. And we got 2 yellows in a row. And then we got sort of a dingy color, and it was called, I can't remember. It's a great neutral when you're adding into things, but I was just not feeling it. Just like I wasn't last year, but I think last year's turned out absolutely beautiful. The color plays really well together. And I think the same holds true for this year. So even these, like, you know, a brown that I would use in other places, and I forget what this one's called. And then there's, it's not this one, where is it? One of the, oh, it's the bottom of the leaves is this just very like bleh color to me. But when you look at the whole thing, I'm like, yep, trust the process, trust the designer. They have a fabulous eye for color. Otherwise, they wouldn't be designing. So I'm tickled to death that I did it again. And I'm sure I will do it again next year. Oh, and before everybody starts asking, sorry, naughty, nice, whatever, that's me. Okay, so that was start number 4. And then my last new start, I started this one actually last night. My daughter had asked, my eldest daughter, last year we were talking about me stitching something for my granddaughter. She'll be 10 in January. And we were looking at like a cat thing. I found one I loved, which is from Barbara Anna Designs. And I think I had said a couple of times through various videos that I couldn't figure out the colors. Her cats are white. The cat in the project was black. And when I tried to change it, the colors just, I was struggling. So I just abandoned that for now. So we were talking about it again, and she said, I found what I want you to do. And I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? So I'm going to pop a picture in right here. She found it on Etsy, and it's a stitch called Wicked. And my granddaughter is totally obsessed with Wicked. She's obsessed with Wicked and Taylor Swift. Those are her things right now. So I started this. I haven't gotten much done. That's as far as I am. Each little flower is not taking that long. Not a huge fan of color changes that frequently, but it wasn't quite as bad as I thought it was going to be. The issue is going to be it's a ton of backstitch, and I really don't like backstitch, but I'm going to learn to love it. But a fun little color palette. Again, not colors that I would have picked, but they are very Wicked inspired. So yeah, there you go. I did see some fabric when I was at Hobby Lobby the other day. And I was like, oh, do you have any Wicked fabric? And she's like, no. And I was like, but that kind of looks like Wicked right there. And I know they're 4-leaf clovers, but for some reason, I don't know. Wizard of Oz, Over the Rainbow, 4-leaf clover. I don't know, but the colors really go. So I threw together a little quick project bag, which I will probably actually gift this to my granddaughter as well. And this is perfect for her to put, you know, colored pencils or whatever she wants to around in her room. And sorry, the other floss, it calls for a silvery gold kind of glittery thing, which my Michaels didn't have. That's as close as I could get, but I think that's probably going to work. I don't know. I haven't worked with glitter floss since back in the day when I first started cross stitching 30 years ago. Yeah, I remember not really liking it, and I know everybody whines about it, so I haven't tried again, but I'm going to try again. Otherwise, I'll have to figure something out because I have no idea. But anyway, so that is Wicked. So that's it for new starts. That was a bunch of new starts for me. I don't usually start all the things. But before I show you my whips, so back to my friend Joy. She is turning 55 at the beginning of the year, and she is going to do a, I don't know that she has a hashtag yet. If she does, I'll share it. I haven't found one yet. I need to holler at her and ask her what it is. She's going to do a 55 for 55 and start 55 new things next year. Well, as start crazy as I've been lately and as many things as I want to start, I was like, maybe I should join you. I was really hoping it was going to be the year finishes, but maybe it'll be the year starts. So of those 5, 3 have been since my birthday, the end of November. So I thought maybe I'll do the 55 for 55, but call it 55 for 55 plus 2, because I just turned 57, and start it for my birthday. So that already gives me 3 towards it, because there's literally 3 or 4 more things like in my basket that I want to start immediately. And I bought more stuff at the Jingle Ball. So anyway, I may do that. I'll let you guys know what I decide on that. All right, so I have one more whip. And I worked on this a few weeks ago. So you may remember me showing you the quintessential Frisian Smalls, also from Jacob, Modern Folk Embroidery. This one, I have all the stitching completed, but I haven't put it together. And then this was August. This was September, which I skipped for whatever reason, and that would be super easy to have a start and a finish. This was October, and this is the Not Quite a Quaker Discorning. That's the front, and it shows you the backs. So the one that I had done, sorry, this is just the little pincushion. I did that a couple months ago. I think I finished most of that actually in the correct month. And then this is, the front is done of my biscorning. I do need to do the back. So I'm not going to call this a finish because I've only completed half the stitching. But I'm very pleased with it. It's really pretty. I've never done a monochromatic before. It's gorgeous. And I am stitching on the called for, which I believe it's porcelain again. And this is Valley Red from Roxy. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh my gosh. I can't get enough of that color. So pretty. And that is living in a bag that I had made a few months ago specifically for that. And I did sell out of those. I showed you the one special bag I made. I'll talk a little bit more when we talk quilting. So I think that's all the cross stitch for now. The only other one I was going to talk about, I made this one, and I've actually got a different bag I'm going to make to go with it. But I was going to start, Nicole Spohr did Blue Coat Santa for her birthday sale, and not a big blue fan. I was going to do it in turquoise. That was fine for Christmas. But it was not in stock the couple places I looked, but Pink Coat Santa was, and she had suggested, you know, hey, you can do any of the Santas. I am going to do him, though, not like that. I'm going to do him, I think there's a picture. Maybe not. Yes. I'm going to do them as a stand-up. I want to do all of them. And I love the soft pink colors. I really do. I really do. But it's not going to match my decor. So, I have for this, as of right now, dark cobblestone linen. That's a 36 count. I may change my mind. I've seen some possibilities. I do have a couple of really pretty browns from Roxy that I'm thinking about. But I just saw a post, I forget who it was, but somebody is doing it on a pale mint green. That's really pretty. It's really good. Back to my Roxy Floss Co. I am still a little short on the more flesh tone. I have a couple, but they're too close to the pinks that I was originally going to use. So I still may tweak this one. And the ecru, I might pull almond for that. Haven't decided yet. And then I think this is the darker skin tones. So this was originally the colors I was going to use for Pink Coat Santa. And they're beautiful. That's that, you know, pastel-y pink. Really pretty. It'll be pretty on that fabric. And then took a while here the other day, and I pulled out, hang on, hold please, brighter pink. Aren't those pretty? I think those will be beautiful, and they will go beautifully with the greens that I had already pulled, as well as the browns that I had pulled. They are going to go with the skin tones. I think that's my winner. I love it. But I still have to decide my fabric. I can't remember if I have like a minty color or not. I was thinking I did. I'm not sure. But anyway, this one I am dying to start. I really wanted to stitch this in Nut Wicked. But this is for my Wicked is for my granddaughter. So I was like, I got to get that done. Yeah, but I'm dying to start this one. So, like I said, I think the 55 for 55 is going to be no problem. While I was at the Jingle Ball, I got, when I had ordered Nettle Harriet, whatever her name is, the one Halloween animal cracker, I ordered a Lily and another Halloween one. And then at the Jingle Ball, I ordered Sugar. Put him right here, as well as, I don't remember the names, the little dachshund and Chili. I had ordered Blizzard last year. So I have a whole crew of these, and I'm super excited to do them. So I'm going to be ready to jump into those as well when I get caught up on these couple of things, I do believe. But while we're talking quilting, hang on for 1 second. So that's kind of it for regularly scheduled cross stitch. If you're not interested in the rest, you can sign out now. You won't miss anything. I'm going to talk quilting for a minute. I'm going to talk haul for a minute. And I might talk books. So for the quilting, I had bought years and years and years ago the Vintage Christmas book from Lori Holt. And I used to be really into Lori Holt when I first got back into quilting. And I've made a couple. I've actually got a couple I've thought about selling. If anybody's interested, please let me know. Because they're not getting any love. I finished them, I hung them on a quilt rack, and never came back to them. So let me cover up the directions before I show you this. All right. Look, it's Santa. How fun is that? Wouldn't that be fun for the Pink Coat Santa to make a bag? So I cut all of my pieces for that and just haven't gotten around to it. Because again, I don't have time right now. But that is a plan that I do want to do for quilting. Another plan, can't remember if I've shown you guys this or not. I think I might have, but it's a Valentine's more quilt. It was called Heartfelt, and it was a fat quarter shop quilt along for 2 or 3 years ago. But to me, those colors just say Christmas. And my whole top is put together. I just need to quilt it. So I was hoping to get that done this year. Don't think it's going to happen. But is still sitting here beside my sewing machine in case I take a while here to do that. I've already got the backing sitting there ready for it. I do love quilting. I don't know. I have to be in my room to quilt. I can take bits and pieces in the den, but cross stitch I can sit in there with my husband and the dogs. And my little puppy, my older dog is fine. He'll sit in the bed beside me. He doesn't care. He's old. My little one, she wants to be held all the time. She wants to be played with. And it's even more when I'm in here in the other room and I'm sitting at the sewing machine. She's just at my legs trying to play. So I think that might be part of the reason I'm really just not doing as much. Same thing with the project bags. It's just harder to get in here away from my little sweetheart. Yeah. And then there's my daughter's quilt, and we won't even talk about that. It was supposed to be done this year sometime between her birthday and Christmas, and we won't talk about that. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, haul. Hold, please. I do have a little bit to show you. So besides the Jingle Ball that you just saw, I got this month's Roxy Floss Co. This is the traditional club, and this is called Haze. This is a 36 count. That's a beautiful color. And you know what? Santa might be really pretty on that. This just came to, well, it came yesterday and I picked it up today. That might be really pretty. That was not a potential, but now it is. This one is called Puddle. This is in the Modern Club, and this is a 32 count. And it's a nice khaki with like a grayish, bluish, greenish modeling. Like, that's freaking beautiful. I love it. I don't know what I'm going to do with that one, but I love it. The other contenders that I had thought about, and these are last month's. This is from the Modern Club. And now that I open it up and look at it, this is not going to work for Santa. It might have with the blush tones. It's not going to work with the bright ones. But I still love it. This is called Two Plums Up. And this is, again, 32 count. It's showing kind of brown, but it's really more of a pinky. No, that's lighter. It's definitely brighter, and it's kind of a pinky purple brown. It's a beautiful color, but that's not going to work with the hotter tints. And this one is called Kalamata. This is a 36 count, and this is from the, not the Modern Club, but the traditional club. And this I was thinking might be a contender. It's a really pretty darker brown. I think it's like a darker brown of the other, but it still might have the pinks in it too. And then I think I have a cut of Coco Loco. That's the one I was really kind of thinking about. But anyway, so haul this month, I got my 2 linens in, and then I got my flosses month. Show you those. I think I'm all packaged up, and you get 24 skeins every 2 months. And just look. Oh, they're so good. So good. Look at those neon bright greens. Holy cow, I love those. I am tickled to death with that. And what is this? Hard candy. Dang, that's pretty. Granny Smith. Beautiful. Some more good orange possibilities and golds for my autumn moon. So that's exciting as well. I love that purple. Grape juice. That's beautiful. All right, so besides that, I had one more chart that had come in when I got Pink Cut Santa, and this is Peace and Goodwill from Brenda Gervais. I love it. And I believe that's it for my haul. Oh, actually, come on, please. So with the ABC Floss Club from Roxy Floss Co., Ellen from Maximum Cross Stitch is gifting us with a chart every 2 months, and it's going to be a sampler in 6 pieces, I guess. I can't remember. I guess 6. 6 times 3 is only 18, so maybe some of them have 4 letters. But it's supposed to use all the colors of floss, and there's like 360, an insane number. So for this one, look at all those floss colors. Last month, I don't have it handy, or 2 months ago, are all completely different. So this is going to be like a crazy fun project, and I may just pick some of my favorite colors and revamp it, because the charts are really pretty, but I'm not really a fan of having 25 different colors that don't necessarily go together. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what clever things Ellen comes up with as far as combining them. And again, trust the process, right? Right. So that's it for haul. So the only other thing I was going to talk about, and again, if you're done, you're done. Oh, no, one more thing. Sorry, Flosstubes. So I have been really enjoying this year watching some of the Advent Flosstubes. And first and foremost, every day I'm starting with Caroline's from Evertote. And she has a different Flosstube channel, and that's Off the Grid Needle Arts. And she is doing the countdown, the project with Modern Fucking Embroidery. She's doing the countdown every day, like showing us the color, what she stitched every day, and that's been fun. And then she does some other stuff as well in there. I always love her videos, but I start my day with her on the way to work every morning at 7 o'clock. Before I open mine, I look at hers. And then pretty much daily, I've been trying to keep up with Nicole Spore's amazing projects all the time. I didn't watch all of last year's, and I'm going to go back and do that one day because there are some terrific projects she's showing from last year I need to go back and look at. So a lot of good content there. Tiger Lily's doing a countdown. I've been watching most of hers. She does her Advent box that she sends out, which is a 12-day Advent. And then she's also doing a couple of yarn clubs that she's opening, like yarn Advent boxes. So that's been fun to watch. And then Simply Stitch and Ocala, she has like 5 different Advent boxes she's opening. She went Advent crazy, which is really fun. But if you enjoy watching like the unboxing type stuff, all of those have been really, really fun to watch lately. It seems like I was going to mention another floss tube, but I can't remember off the top of my head. So, I got nothing. But those are all fun. It will be time for Whip Parade soon, so everybody watch out. That's, coming up now, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. Everybody's going to start doing them, and they are just phenomenal. I'll tell you the ones I'm looking forward to the most, though. No, I'll tell you next time. So, books. I want to talk books really, really quickly because I don't know that I have taught books ever. And if I have, it was very briefly. So, my daughter kept trying to get me to read 11/22/63 by Stephen King. Not a huge Stephen King fan. I've read a couple of things that I really enjoyed, and a couple that really creeped me out. And I can't get the pictures out of my mind, so I don't read all of his things. I had read, also in her recommendation, Fairy Tale a few months back, and I may have told you guys about this. This is really great. This is so not Stephen King. It's almost more of a young adult book, but the storyline and the way this goes, it's almost like this foreshadowed that, because this book was written way before Fairy Tale was. This book was incredible. It's a historically based, but it's totally fiction. So you're going to know just by reading the back of the book that a guy finds out that his buddy has access to go back in time. And he can go back in time to 1958, I believe it is. And the whole point of the book is he's going to go back and try to save JFK from the assassination. And I'm not going to give anything more away than that, but this book was such a great read. I mean, just incredible. Nothing particularly scary. There are, some mild murder type scenes along the way. Nothing terrible. Nothing really freaky like it usually is. But highly, highly recommend this book. It was excellent. While I'm on that path, I had randomly started a show on Netflix, maybe Prime, can't remember where it was, called The Outsider. Realized, oh, it's Stephen King. So my husband and I watched a couple of episodes, and he lost interest really quick because it was getting to be a little bit more paranormal. So I went and bought that book, and that's what I'm reading right now, is The Outsider. Not overly freaky so far. It is definitely going to be a little more Stephen King-y, but that's what I'm working on right now. The things I've just finished. So relatively recently, I finished Swift and Saddled, which was the second in the Lila Sage series from Rebel Blue Ranch. First one, I ate it up. Second one, I loved it as well. And I need to get back to 3 and 4. It's a little bit of spice. It's more story, a little bit. It's not really Western because it's in, modern times, but it's set out on a ranch in like Montana, maybe. I don't know. Somewhere out west. Wyoming. Anyway, really great book. I really enjoyed these, and I need to get to the next one in that. So if you like a good romance that's a little spicy, like a slow burn, that's a great series. If you like super spicy, and I don't have a problem with super spicy. This one was a little spicy even for me. One of my favorite old couple of series are from Laurel Hamilton. So if you like spicy books, you know what those are, and they're spicy. I don't know with this one though. This is Katie Robert, and the first one was like, hello. The second one was much milder, but this one, yeah, a little bit spicier for sure. So you got to put your big girl panties on for this one and be prepared. It's a good story. I do enjoy her writing. I enjoy her characters. But just definitely not a read for teens or kids. I will tell you that. But I did enjoy it. And then the last one I'm going to talk about, I think the last one is, this is The Way of Kings from Brandon Sanderson. This is from his new quadrilogy, the Stormlight Archive. I had started this a few months ago and got into, I think, Lila Sage. Like any good epic fantasy, it takes a few hundred pages to learn all the characters, build up their personalities, see how everybody's working together, where your story's going and all that. And I'm not that far into it yet. So I know I'm going to love this because I love a big, multi-thousand page epic fantasy world. Love them. I'm just a little slow getting into this one right now. And then I'm hoping I should finish Stephen King pretty quickly. I'm not sure what I'm going to go on to from there. I'm hoping for Christmas I will get the next in the... Is it Daniel Jensen? No. The first one was Quicksilver. I want to say Cressy Cole. It's not. Anyway, the sequel to Quicksilver. I think it's Brimstone, maybe? Really hoping I get that for Christmas. Because I want to buy it, but I have too many other things I have bought that I haven't read yet, so I'm not buying it for myself yet. I'm gonna behave for now. I'm gonna be nice and not naughty. Anyway, I think that's it. I'm done rambling for the day. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you saw something you liked. Consider subscribing. Leave me a comment. I love my comments. I'm really good about answering them for about the first week after a Flosstube. And then I'm a slacker after that about going back and checking. So if you've commented on the last one, I apologize. When I go in over the next week, I'll start checking in on those. And I'm sorry. I'm really good about it at first. So anyway, leave me a comment on if you think I should do the mint green or the brown for Santa. If you think I should stick with the paler colors, or if you like the brighter pinks that I've picked. If you think I should attempt to join Joy in the 55 for 55, or am I insane and I should just finish some of mine? Yeah, I don't know. And I'm going to try to check back in the next 2 to 4 weeks with my whip parade, end of the year whip parade. And I do expect that will change some. I have a few things that I'm close to finishing. I'm hoping to get a couple more finishes in December. And like I said, besides the Pink Coat Santa, I've got a few other things I want to start too. So Whip Parade may be a little bit different than last year's, or even the middle of the year's Whip Parade. Plus, I think there's a few more I'm going to UFO. They got to go. They haven't worked on them in 4 or 5 years. They got to go. It doesn't stress me out having so many projects. What stresses me out is that I have some that I don't want to stitch on anymore. I'm just not drawn to them anymore. So keeping them in my pile, that's what stresses me out. So anyway, join me soon. Again, thanks for coming. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas holiday season. Happy New Year, and I will see you guys soon.